Hey, hey, boy, story come to bump. Listen up, go fix a drink. Grab some popcorn. I'm not talking about popcorn, we're saying family. We say family. No, me I talk about grab some popcorn and sit down with a bowl of popcorn or some drinks and roll up a spliff and come in and listen to that one here. It's going to be pretty lengthy, but very much in detail. Alright? Now, recently we covered a story about a police officer, female police officer from Jamaica who was caught in the United States of America. And it said that they had been onto her since 2019, but then pick her up in 2022 because that's how they operate, right? They did their thorough investigations. They had already pinned her as the mastermind behind a scamming ring. And she has scamming charges on her, and they have the proof for that. A scamming network that goes between the United States of America and Jamaica. See? Now, there was also charges of drug smuggling, but we didn't get the details on the drug smuggling until now. Now we have all the details because it has been published in the New York Post. I woke up this morning to it in the Florida Times. It's in the Miami Herald. If the newspaper is big in the United States of America, this story is trending in there today. And it's also trending in Jamaica, but in Jamaica, they're more like trying to hold it down. So, there's a story in the Gleaner called Not My Shelly. A tearful grandfather is in shock at his cop granddaughter's arrest on scamming and drug trafficking charges. I'm going to run you through that first, and then I'm going to give you the details from the United States of America Authority from their official law enforcement site concerning this 42-year-old Jamaican cop called Shelian Allen, who had been arrested in the United States on drug trafficking and scamming charges. The disbelief was unmistakable on Charles Brown's 82-year-old tear-stained face. Brown, who is a church deacon, was trying to come to grips with the allegations that his first granddaughter, Jamaican cop Shelian Allen, had been accused of drug smuggling and running a multi-million-dollar lottery scamming syndicate. That cannot be my Shelly, he said, tears rolling down his cheeks. Not my Shelly, not my Shelly. The octogenarian, other relatives and friends revered Allen, Shelly, as someone that was ambitious and caring and hardworking and the matriarch of her family, because they were probably thinking she's a high earner, she's a go-getter, she's highly motivated, you know, things are going for her, she fly out on a regular basis and all that, which, by the way, is one of the reasons why the U.S. authorities logged on to her and started looking deeper into her, because she take more plane between the U.S. and Jamaica than some people take taxi go to work in a Jamaica, we live in Jamaica. Big red flag. They spoke freely about the respect she commands in family circles and the wider community as her passion for assisting those who are in need. She takes charge of every family event, making sure that all is in place and that everyone is playing their part. Everyone listened to her, Brown said. One of the few times he managed to smile during the interview with the Sunday Gleaner. Helping those who needed it was like an obsession for her, said her family friend Kevin, a businessman who is based in her hometown in Falmouth, Trelawney. She was a hard-working cop, man. She's kind-hearted and maybe a bit too popular in the streets as well, said one of her colleagues who did not want to be identified. Maybe a bit too popular in the streets? However, United States U.S. law enforcement authorities have painted a far different picture of Allen, accusing her of being a drug smuggler and one of the leaders of a lottery scamming syndicate that fleeced some 20 mainly elderly American citizens of approximately 1.69 million US dollars that they can prove so far. Allen has been jailed in the United States in Florida since February 3rd, when she arrived there on a flight from Jamaica and she was picked up at the airport because they were on her. And on that flight, she had all kinds of stuff on her as well. We are going to get into that. Her 20-year-old son The third of 6 children was also arrested. Rotted. We didn't even know that. Her 20-year-old son was with her, and he was also arrested. Allen faces charges of conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud for her alleged involvement in the lottery scamming syndicate, in addition to drug trafficking charges. One victim told investigators that she alone lost $150,000, including her house, which she sold to pay these bogus fees to collect a US $18 million lottery jackpot and a Mercedes-Benz that she was falsely led to believe by Allen that she had won. The policewoman is expected to appear in court this week on a charge of cocaine possession based on allegations that she excreted, poo-poo out, doo-doo out, or peed out, excreted 90 pellets of drugs that was valued at $37,000 at a local hospital following her arrest. That would tell you that she was coming into the country bringing drugs inside her orifices, inside her body cavities, in her vagina, in her wherever else holes she had it. Okay, what they do is when they hold you, you know them carry you going to the liquor room and they make you stay there until your belly start hurt you, and you have one place in there to do. And when you do in there, it's going to go right into the room where they want it to go, and they will wash off all the stuff and collect the evidence. She excreted 90 pellets. 90, you know. And by the looks of this $37,000, I'm willing to say this is probably about a kilo of cocaine or more. Now, there are claims too that she had told US authorities that she was transporting the cocaine for another member of the Jamaica Constabulary force. What a thing. What a thing. She told US authorities that she was transporting the cocaine for another member of the Jamaica Constabulary force. I wonder who that is. Remember, I know people, recently, just in months gone by, I believe it was 4 more Jamaica Constabulary force police officers were caught in the United States of America smuggling cocaine in, and they were caught with the drugs as well. Anyhow, I'm wondering if they're connected. And is one person have this whole big link. The new allegations were shared with the Jamaica police by US authorities and have triggered a joint investigation around several cops suspected of being involved in the narcotics trade. High-ranking sources close to the investigation told the Sunday Gleaner. What a thing. So shout out to my good squaddy them, but the other day on a jump on the channel and said something like, SouFLo, there's a lot of us out here. Is only 1 and 2 that's into things. I hope you're paying attention to this, because you might be in uniform and still don't even know who is right beside you in uniform. I'm just saying. A sworn affidavit that was filed by the US Federal Bureau of Investigation, or the FBI. You know, so when them the people they log on upon you, you know, is a rap, you know, man. Me not even call them name too much, you know. A sworn affidavit filed by the 3-letter word people in a Wisconsin district court listed 7 unnamed individuals believed to be co-conspirators in the lottery scam allegedly operated by Allen. 4 Jamaicans, including another cop, are among the 7 co-conspirators, the source disclosed. Between 2019 and last year, according to the affidavit, approximately $128,000 raked in from this lottery scam was sent directly to Allen in what federal investigators have labeled the Allen Lottery Scheme Organization. This is why they pinned her as the kingpin of this. $128,000, according to FBI affidavit, was raked in from this scam and was sent directly to her. This is what the federal investigators used to name their particular investigation the Allen Lottery Scheme Organization. Investigators, citing bank records and other documents, alleged that she made 24 purchases amounting to about US $2,440. So she's not spending too big. At Florida-based retail outlets such as Victoria's Secret, Gap, Marshalls, Macy's, Foot Locker, Old Navy, Elegance Perfume and Polo and Ralph Lauren store. But her family and friends insisted that they saw no signs of extravagant spending. Boy, you know, me hear the scammer them I say, or people who make music are saying in their songs that polo is the scamming uniform. You know, you get up every day dress up in a polo and you're not wearing no cheap knockoff polo, and the real polo you wear that are the scammer's uniform. And she was surely shopping at Polo, Ralph Lauren, at the real store, directly from the real store, not the knockoff. Instead, what they saw was that Shelly, who would even work on a construction site to meet the needs of her children. Family members indicated too that as far as they were aware, Allen's frequent trip to the USA were to care for an elderly man, to go there to go do some living work and care for an elderly man. I guess that's what she told her family. You know, we're not making enough money as police and have these children to take care of, and myself too. So I do a like a part-time job over so, and then come back in and continue with my police thing and mend my salaries together, and that's how I'm gonna survive. A real humble picture painted up front. They admitted though that they never asked any questions at all. A U.S. Department of Homeland Security database showed that Allen traveled to the U.S. 9 times between January of 2019 and September of last year. The affidavit by FBI Special Agent Thomas Koch revealed. Brown said that it was a dream come true for his granddaughter a decade ago when she purchased her home in Stonebrook Vista on the outskirts of Trelawney Capital, and as one of her first acts, she relocated her grandparents there. And although Brown would return to his home following the death of his wife in 2020, the 82-year-old recounted the pride he felt when she enlisted in the Jamaica Constabulary force shortly after she completed high school. I was in full support because she would become somebody upstanding, he said. Now I may never see her before I die. Wandering Brown, who is a diabetic. Now, at the time of her arrest, Allen was assigned to the St. James Police Division following her transfer from the National Police College in 2004. This is what insiders have revealed. And according to one insider, she served in several formations in the parish, including a stint as an intelligence operative in a divisional investigative unit. Rotted. Can you say conflict of interest and the ability to steer things away from your cronies and yourself? The JCF confirmed on February 5th that Allen had been suspended from duties with immediate effect. The affidavit by Special Agent Koch includes the transcript of an interview with an unnamed American citizen who admitted to collecting money for Allen in the US and transporting the cash to Jamaica. The American, identified only as co-conspirator number 1, told investigators that they met the policewoman in the Falmouth market. One senior cop believes the JCF waited too long to intervene because there was too many signs there already. The cop, who did not want to be identified, said that the high command should have intervened before it created such an embarrassment. They had eyes on her, and they knew that she was making frequent trips to the U.S. without the consent of the commissioner, the senior cop said, referring to Police Chief Major General Anthony Anderson. The JCF should have stepped in and saved her from herself because she was caught on the wrong side, seeking for the right thing. But the culture is so to crucify the police that makes bad choices rather than to intervene to help the individual. Names have been changed in this to protect their identity. Laverne Barrett contributed this story to the Gleaner. Now, there are a couple of things over here that people are saying. Let me just run you through what a couple of people are saying. It is all in the mind. the greed, the envy, the jealousy, the red eye, long as parents teach their children from early about the destruction those things can cause and why having ambition is different and much more rewarding than greed, jealousy, envy, and all these things. Now, after they are responsible for the direction they choose on their own journey in life, now with all the mayhem caused and causing by illegal guns in Jamaica, what type of a person who took the oath to uphold the Constitution and to serve faithfully becomes part of a horrible problem? Such types have to be rotten from the core. Never mind that they are pretending to portray on the outside. My hope is that they are all exposed eventually. Lucky G says, boy, corruption turn up to the max. Honesty is the very best policy, me I tell you. And Marcus Garvey II said, and where would you expect to find honesty? Yes, you could find it among certain individuals, but the nastiness is all over the world. Look at the value of the Jamaican dollar and the money at large. What makes some currencies so low and others so high? So the poor have any say in the rise and fall of our dollar? They don't. And what about the pack of gamblers enged with Bitcoin? Some of the culprits call me almost every day. What a world we live in. DDT says they admitted, though, that they never asked any questions. Quote unquote. That's her family. Well, therein lies the problem with a lot of us in Jamaica. We will happily collect or watch the splurge and participate in it too, but never ask any question why, where, when, who, and how, and all this. Marcus Garvey says, some see no need to ask no question. They brought up their family well and see no reason to believe that they could have been engaged in such nastiness. Guest number 1 says, sorry grandpa, but the young people them want to be high flyers. The love of money send them wild. Technological devices, media, TV, etc. paint a make-believe world. So young people relegate older generations to idiotsville until they collide with themselves. And for many, it's too late to double back and to revamp. Like for her, she's looking at a hefty amount of time in prison right now. Let's forward over now to what has been posted in the US today concerning this case. Now I am going to go to the justice.gov site, the United States Attorney's Office, Southern District of Florida, their official site. The headline says, Jamaica police officer charged with smuggling cocaine from Jamaica to South Florida inside her body. That's what the official site of the U.S. government says. And that was released on Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. Miami, Florida. A South Florida grand jury has indicted a veteran police officer from Jamaica with importing cocaine into the United States with the intent to distribute it here. The indictment and a previously filed criminal complaint affidavit alleged the following. On February 3rd, 42-year-old Shelian Cherine Allen, a Jamaican citizen, arrived at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport on a flight from Montego Bay, Jamaica. An inspection by U.S. Customs and Border Protection (CBP) revealed that Allen had a package of cocaine inside her vagina and a package of cocaine inside each of her bra cups. Allen also had 90 pellets of packaged cocaine inside of her stomach, which she had swallowed. People listening up. This is the official report, justice.gov. You can go and look it up yourself and read through it. So don't let nobody tell you about it wasn't in our vagina, it did in our bag. This is the report. CBP officers took Allen to a local hospital where she expelled the 90 pellets. In total, Allen had approximately 1,350 grams of cocaine on her inside her body. When she entered the United States, about 234 of that was in her vagina, and about 174 grams of that was in her bra, and about 942 grams of that was in her stomach. They give you the complete breakdown. She got caught with 1,350 grams of cocaine. If you want to know how it was transported, about 232 grams of cocaine was in her vagina. About 174 grams was in her brassiere. And about 942 grams of that was in pellets that she had swallowed, and they were sitting in her stomach. Never mind that these things can erupt, rupture, bust up in you and kill you instantly. Is a risk that she was willing to take. Now, at the time of her arrest, Allen was a law enforcement officer that was employed by the Jamaica Constabulary force for at the last 18 years. Senior cop. You understand? The indictment charges Allen with 2 counts, importation of 500 grams or more of cocaine and possession with intent to distribute 500 grams or more of cocaine. If convicted, she faces up to 40 years in prison on each of her counts. Remember, I know she have multiple counts and she's looking at 40 years on each of her counts. Now, here what? More than likely, when they sentence her, they're probably going to say that she must run these time concurrently. But even if they do, and them dash out 30 years and 40 years, those ain't the kind of time I'm trying to do in nobody prison. Nobody prison. She's a Jamaican woman. She gonna be in a US prison for 40 years, or for any long stay, it's gonna be hell on her. Okay? But let's carry on with the story. The indictment charges Allen. Juan Antonio Gonzalez, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida, Anthony Salisbury, Homeland Security Investigator, HSI, Miami Field Office, and Vernon T. Forrett, Director of Field Operations, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, Miami Field Office, made the announcement all together. They did a whole press conference out of it because it was a big deal, because this is a senior cop who has served 18 years for the last 18 years who was involved in this high level of drug smuggling and other things. HSI, what an embarrassment. Jamaica Constabulary Force must be looking at itself in the mirror right now and saying, what a rascal embarrassment. What a rascal embarrassment on Jamaica and Jamaicans. Because of things like this, they drape up regular citizens when we're coming through the airport, because they're already saying, if the law enforcement officials coming out of your country are coming in hot and heavy like this, then what you expect from the regular citizens? They're probably using any of the Jamaicans to ship this thing into our country, right? So, with that said, HSI Miami and CBP Miami investigated the case. Assistant U.S. Attorney William T. Shockley is prosecuting this case. Go and look up William T. Shockley's record of prosecution when it comes to things like this. That's all I'm going to say to you on that, because I don't have time. An indictment merely contains allegations, and the defendant is presumed innocent until and unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. Yeah, whatever. These are the United States of America. They're bound and obligated to say that, and that is just how it goes on the books. That's checking a box formalities. They found her on the airport with this stuff in her and on her. They took her to the hospital and had her pass all this out and took it out of her brassiere and tell you, break down how much she was carrying, where on what part of her. This ain't gonna be no allegedly until proven nothing. She already is guilty and it can be already proven in court. She's probably gonna have to take a plea deal, which is the smart thing, and which is the reason why the Jamaica Constabulary Force has been put on notification that she told U.S. authorities that she was smuggling the drugs for another Jamaica Constabulary Force officer. They are investigating right now, trying to find out who that is. I wonder why she's not pointing out who that is. And I wonder why they are not exposing if she has pointed out who that is. Maybe some threat is there. If you call me name, your family dead down here, no girl. You see your grandfather, him first. You see the rest of your picnic, them next. Understand what you sign up for. And if you get catch, you shut your mouth and you do your time. Don't call nobody else name in this. There are threats in this. That's how the game goes, right? And you brave up and you ride the shot. Related court documents and information may be found on the website of the District Court for the Southern District of California. I'm sorry, not California. For the Southern District of Florida, sorry. And I have the link here under case number 22CR60024. I'm just telling y'all, the whole document gives topics: drug trafficking and foreign corruption. Components: USAO, Florida Southern. Contacts: Marlene Rodriguez, Special Counsel to the U.S. Attorney, Public Affairs Office. And this is at a US DOJ, Department of Justice.gov site. I'm going to save that site here, and I'm going to save the link and the information concerning this case because I follow this one through. My subscribers and my viewers know how I do already. I go all the way in, and we're going to go all the way in with this one, all the way to what was said in court, what else came out of it, and all that. If you go over to complex.com today, you will see the big old headline, and they did it in bold-faced black words against a white background that says Jamaican police officer charged with smuggling cocaine after U.S. Customs find the drugs inside her vagina, stomach. Boy, may I tell you. And over there, they have Shelian, them have our picture, and she's smiling away. And they tell you that she is accused of defrauding 20 Americans. And they have another picture of her over there as well. They tell you about her lotto scamming and all these other things. Sad situation. It looked bad. It looked terrible. But of course, people are wondering now, how many more of the Jamaica Constabulary Force officers are involved in similar rackets being ran? They don't necessarily have to be working with her on hers. Them probably have them own thing going. You understand? And I'm thinking also that when she joined the force 18 years ago, did she walk into something, buck up in something where she wasn't ready for, and somebody said to her on the inside, who was a superior officer to her, hey, I can get to make more money, make you get more money, you know. Can help you if you fly out and do all these things and this and that. But you also have to carry this. And that's how she got started. Or somebody introduced her and how she got started. Either way, it's a bad look. It's definitely a black eye on the Jamaica Constabulary Force. It's a black eye on Jamaica, period. Because our law enforcement officials are supposed to be held to a higher standard. And people are expecting better from them. And if they are performing substandard, subpar, then you must understand that people are now going to be looking at the regular citizens like, damn, they definitely dirty as well. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and I'll catch you on the next video. Stay tuned. All right, it's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.